If you only had 1 year in Minecraft, what would you do? Well, that's what I did. Exactly 1 year ago today, on June 25th, 2022, I started up a Superflat world. And through nearly 2,500 in-game days, over 30 videos, and quite a few streams, we make it to today. But I'm going back, going through every single thing we've done this year, videos I've never released, secrets you might have missed, condensing everything from the past year into this video. You'll hear my voice change, my confidence grow, and hopefully my editing improve. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Alright, so I'm playing Minecraft, and we are in. When I first recorded this video, I really had no idea what I was doing. I remember I had just watched Mogswomp's 20 years in Superflat video, and thought to myself, you know what, I reckon I could do that. 1 year later, and here we are. But I got all the basic shebang done, getting tools, looted villages, and, of course, dying to an iron golem. For the next few days, I made it my goal to go to the nether, starting off by looting villages and getting a bit more food. I was mainly looking out for a blacksmith, because there's a slight chance the chest will contain obsidian, but I got so unlucky. I had to search so long just to find one, and then it was just a gamble as to whether or not I'd actually get enough. I didn't realise it, but I had travelled over 5,000 blocks. Now that's quite a lot. I did find a saddle and a horse, which made coming back a lot faster. But finally, I did get enough. Built myself a portal, without the exception of dying beforehand. Went through, found a bastion, started looting, found some cool things, and died. I don't really know what I expected wearing iron and leather armor, but nonetheless, I went back. Got some gold so these piglin guys wouldn't bother me, and started searching the fortress. Here, I took out a few wither guys and got my first blaze rod. Yes. Took out a few blazes, jumped over a hoglin, nearly died, hid in a wall, tried to do something cool, died, ran back to the fortress, died, got back, got a blaze rod, and went home to tame a cat.
Yes, no, God! Oh my, hey! Can you get here faster? Yes, yeah! Yeah!
The next day, I kind of relaxed, making a mob farm out of soul sand. Not really too sure what I was thinking with that, but soon after, it was done. And functioning. For the most part. And at this point here in the series, I found out how weird Superflat actually is. For whatever reason, strongholds generate at the exact same coordinates, regardless of the seed, and thankfully someone's already made a table of coordinates for every single one. And by following it, I can quite easily find a stronghold.
Oh. Okay. I guess we found it.
But then I got back, making an enchanting table with a bunch of bookshelves we got from the stronghold, then spent the next 3 hours getting blaze rods. I can't even begin to explain how unlucky I got. I killed so many blazes and got hardly any blaze rods. People in the comments were saying I was cheating for being so unlucky. It was a bro moment. Then I had to get the ender pearls. I tried piglin bartering, only got 2. Tried killing a few endermen, only got 1. Yes. Then I tried trading with clerics, and after another hour, I wish I was joking, this happened.
Please, to the gods, I'm on my knees again. Please, just get me ender pearls, dude. Yes! Oh my god! Yes! Oh, finally! Okay, alright, okay, I need to make sure this guy lives. This guy...
But I had everything I need. Nearly 2 weeks after starting the world, I was going to kill the ender dragon. Got ready, jumped on a horse, found the stronghold, and put in the eyes. Now, this was pretty daunting. It was the first time I was ever going to beat the game. Properly. I mean, we've all been in creative mode and spawned in a sword and chased after the dragon, but this time, it was for real. Took out the crystals, looked at an enderman, died, climbed an obsidian tower, took out even more crystals, jumped off, died, then it was just me and the dragon. I tried using beds to kill the dragon, died, tried it again, died, tried it one final time, died, tried hitting it, died, tried to get my stuff, died. I'm really not very good at this, am I? But that was until...
Use them and die! Yes! Oh my god! Oh, yes! Finally! Oh god, it's glorious! Oh.
If I'm gonna be honest, this was probably one of my most favourite moments from the entire series. With a total of 63 levels of XP, I made my way back home. So far in the series, I've only lived in this small, renovated villager house, which we got from episode 1, and I could do with building an actual big base. So, I started off in creative mode, kinda messing around with scaling for a floating island. Using lava from blacksmiths, I was able to make a cobblestone farm and an iron golem farm, which I used to get a bunch of materials for the build. I settled with building the island relatively close by, and I do remember this took incredibly long to make. mainly because this was the first proper thing I've actually built in survival in a very long time. Using the rest of the materials I had left over, I started building a few smaller surrounding islands. Originally, I was planning on building around 6, and I ended up building around double that. I got slightly carried away. When making this, I originally planned on making some sort of valley or mountain range that would surround these islands, but that was way too difficult for me, so instead I went with making a cave. I envisioned some sort of large underground chamber with these islands right in the centre. The easiest way I could think of doing this was by lava casting the walls, where you build a ring all the way around the perimeter, throwing lava over it and then pouring water over that, converting the lava into cobblestone. I then finished off the top of the cave by going over it with cobblestone. Alright, and I think we've done the top of it, but that is the cave done for the most part. At this point though, I took a mini break from building and went to the end to find an elytra. Going to the stronghold on horseback, saving up some supplies in case I died, jumped into the portal, and I don't think I've been more nervous about doing something in Minecraft up until right now. I made a little area of water for me to land in case I got knocked off. I also shot a couple of shulkers, but very quickly ran out of arrows, meaning I had to go fight. I want to try and biscuit. Why is there a thing there? Okay, put water down. It's always good, just in case I need it. No. Okay, oh no, this is bad. This is very bad indeed. Very bad, go. Oh Nelly, Nora. Oh no. Oh no, this could be bad. Oh no. Okay, maybe we're fine, just for a minute. And finally, for the very first time, I got an elytra. Oh, yes! Oh my god, look at us go. Oh, we look incredible. Yeah! Oh my god, I love this. Yes! Okay, let's try and land safely. Ooh, I remember that day was really important for me. I don't want to talk about YouTube and all that, but this was the first video I ever made to get 40 views. And for some reason, that seemed like it was more important for me. I don't know why, but that number felt pretty big. And I was so proud of this video. Okay guys, so for today, we are going to be using a lot of cobblestone. I then spent the next day planning out what I want the terrain above the cave to look like. Going into this, I really had no idea what I was doing, but that didn't stop me. I made a mini outline of where I wanted the hills to be, with a big gap right in the centre for where I want the entrance to be. And I spent a very long time, probably around 5 hours, filling it all in, which sounds like a long time, and it was, but putting on a podcast, zoning out, and nearly developing carpal tunnel, it made the time go by pretty quick, and you'll see that later on, these landscapes just keep getting bigger. To change things up though, I got to work on what I called the tube. I started off with cobblestone, trying to make it look as rocky as I possibly could, adding a mini gradient to dirt as it goes up, and for my first time trying to make a gradient, I don't think I did that bad. I then went around and linked up the tube to the terrain. Okay, I think we've finished the tube. This is starting to all come together. It's starting to look really, really cool now. At the moment though, this area looks pretty barren. So I made a path so I can section off where I want everything to go. After throwing down a bunch of saplings kind of haphazardly and a bit of grass here and there, it really built up the land pretty quickly. I also built a tiny river, which I think looks quite nice. Okay, this is really starting to look like a forest. There's also a couple of beehives as well that have like spawned in naturally when making the trees. Yeah, look at the guy. Now, I haven't really explained this, and I don't even think I've put this in any of the videos, but I got the vast majority of these materials just from AFKing. I would balance a weight on the W key, and by reloading the textures, I could mine indefinitely. Yes, my shovel would break if I was mining dirt, so I got a lot of this by hand. In hindsight, this was a really stupid way of doing it, but it did work. And on the next day, I started work on a massive lake, making a very rough outline of the terrain around it. I then made another mini lake, very similar to the one we had just made, but this time, much smaller. Once again, a bit like earlier, I lava casted the cliffs, just as a temporary wall. I do intend on polishing them off, but for now, they should be fine as they are. I also made a path all the way up to the forest, connecting the mini path down to the lake, lava casting the sides once again, and then another path all the way down to the larger lake. I then finished off the day by adding a bit of water and filling in the large lake with dirt. So far with this project, my favourite bit has been adding in all the decorations like the paths, trees, grass and a bridge, mainly because it goes from being incredibly boring to looking like a fairly realistic forest. I also built a few islands, covered the entire lake with water, and finished off the cliffs to the smaller lake. This was probably one of the first few builds on this world that I was really happy about, however small the cliffs were. But I also noticed something weird was going on. Every now and again, I would spot these very small gaps in the world. I didn't really know where they were coming from, but that was until I saw an Enderman holding a block that he had just picked up. How dare he? So I had to install an anti-Enderman grief data pack. Don't really know what that is, but it should work. I took a mini break, spending the next few days trying to kill the Wither, killing a few of these skeleton guys for their skulls, getting back, preparing, spawning in the Wither, and... Oh my god! Okay, oh this could be bad. Oh my god, this is bad. Oh my god, this is bad. Look at the explosion! Come on, man. Come on. I see you. I see you. Okay, go, 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 go. No, the sheep! No! Right, come on. Come on! Oh god, no. Right, don't even get, come on! Please just die, you stupid little... Come on, yes! We got it! Yes! We got it! But it was around this time here though, where I realised I had made quite a big mistake. You see, I loaded up my world in version 1.19, because that was the newest version at the time, but the Superflat worlds are really bizarre. By doing that, nether portals, pillager outposts, and mineshafts will not spawn whatsoever, which kinda sucks. I don't really know why Superflat worlds generate so strangely, but turns out they do. And I found out a bit too late. So to distract myself, I'm going to build up mountains. I started right in the back corner, only focusing on the sides of the mountains I'm actually going to be looking at, because I figured there's no point in wasting resources on something I'm never actually going to see again. So that's what I did. I would then link up the terrain to the base of the mountains, going over it with bone meal, trees, a tiny river, and going over the top with snow. Technically, white wool, but we can't get snow in Superflat, so white wool will have to do. Then I got to work on what was probably the most mind-numbing processes I ever had to go through in this entire series, which was placing down all the dirt for the plains biome just after the lake. I also had to build up a few more mountains to connect all the way across. For reference, this was about 4 months into the world, and I think I've got quite a lot done in that time, but I still had more left to do. Adding in around 8 mini mountains, connecting the terrain all the way up to the base of the mountains, adding in bone meal, grass, trees, and boom. Over the next month, I got to work on building up a castle, starting off with a courtyard wall. I'm not really too sure what this bit is called, but that's what I went with. I then started up building a couple of small tower things and a cool looking entrance. Oh no! Oh, crikey! Yeah, there's a couple of mobs behind there. How did I get shot? No! Oh, come on! I dedicated the next few days on working on making the castle. I had watched a few videos and tutorials on building and how to get better, which I think paid off. But there was something missing. This whole area could do with so many more decorations. I started off by adding a path, some flags, a blacksmith, grass, trees, leaves, and lanterns. Okay, I think that looks a lot better now. I did also add in this little blacksmith here. I do think it looks quite nice, and we did flesh out a bit of the interior as well. Over the next day, I went insane. I don't think I mentioned this in any of the videos, but I spent what must have been at least a solid few days just AFKing and collecting a ton of resources for these next builds. After finishing the castle, I moved on to the surrounding village, and I should probably say that these houses were built by following the tutorial by a guy called Mechatech. Eventually, I did get to a point where I didn't need to use the tutorials, but I think I just needed a helping hand to get started. I also added in a river, a bridge, campsite, paths, trees, grass, a watermill, a lumberjack house, and fully finished off the forest. I also had a go at making a plan on paper before building, which helped out surprisingly well. By following it, I was able to see how much more I had left to do, and it was quite liberating not needing to think about what I had to do next. I kinda just got into a good flow, put on a few podcasts, and kept building. Okay, I think we are pretty much finished, and oh, that looks so cool. I love that. There were a couple of smaller pockets, a bit like this here and a little bit over here, that just look a bit barren and could just do with something being there. And so what I want to move on to now is I want to start adding in the details. I want to spice it up a little bit more and make it look a little bit cooler. I'm mainly settled with grass, a few flowery spots, and adding in an odd cart or two. I then made a windmill and farmland to sit in between the lake and the village, pretty much finishing off this half of the main town. And from this point onwards, I really started focusing on the YouTube side of things, trying to make the best videos I possibly can, looking at different editing styles, watching hundreds of hours of YouTube advice. I also got a few books on filmmaking, which have actually helped out more than I first thought. But while doing all that, I also found a very interesting mod called Litematica. Oh, wait, what? You don't know what Litematica is? Well, it's basically a schematic mod that allows players to build by visualizing a 3D hologram of the finished structure. It helps players gather all the required resources and allows them to see where each block should be placed. And from here, the videos just became more insane, starting off with my personal favourite video I've ever made so far, building myself in Minecraft. I started off taking a picture of myself, sending it over to an AI to convert it into a 3D model, opened it up in Blender and put myself into a cool looking pose, gave myself a cool looking sword, voxelized myself, don't really know what that means, opened myself in Minecraft, and boom. Then I had to get every single block we needed. Now, I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but one of them was obsidian. Now, the easiest way to get a lot of obsidian that I could think of was from the obsidian towers in the end. I spent around 4 hours collecting resources, then a further 6 hours building up the entire statue. And for the first time using Lightmatica, I don't think that's too bad. I mean, my face looks incredibly goofy, don't get me wrong, but I think that just adds charm to the build.
That looks so cool. Oh, that looks so goofy. I love that.
Now, in the process of collecting the resources for the previous build, we took down an obsidian tower, and that gave me an idea. An idea to destroy the entire end island. A pretty stupid idea, thinking back, but to do that I had to spawn in all the end gateways, which was done by respawning and killing the ender dragon 20 times. And the way I was going to destroy the end was by using world eaters, a thing that I've never really done before, and I just wanted to give it a go. But if the machine were to even touch one of these obsidian towers, it would stop working, meaning they had to go. And after only 7 days, I got rid of them all. But then it was time to move on to building the world eater and finally letting it go. After doing that though, I wanted to have a go at getting every single advancement. Now, some of them are physically impossible to get in Superflat. Ones like exploring every single biome is going to be pretty difficult when there's only a plains biome. But I got through as many as I could fairly quickly, going through every single advancement I could get in Superflat, which most of them were pretty straightforward, until I got to the advancement called Uneasy Alliance, which involves taking a ghast from the nether, through the portal to the overworld and then killing it.
Yes! Oh, finally!
This was easily the most annoying one to do, but it was also the most rewarding. I also watched a video by a guy called Jaron who brought a strider to the end and thought that was a pretty fun idea, and combined the ideas into one of my favourite videos I've made yet. Can a ghast visit the end? I got everything prepared and tested it countless times in a creative copy of the world before doing it for real. And the reason why this is so difficult to do is because the only way to move a ghast is by using minecarts and fishing rods. But to do that, I had to get him through this portal here, which would instantly teleport him into the end. Added on to that, I had to use a name tag to make sure he wouldn't despawn. But anyways, I got started.
Okay, this could be it. Name tag. Okay, there you go. That's one thing done. Then try and bring this guy down. Oh god. No! Don't go away! Why? No! Come on. My mouse! Why is this? No! Please, you're so close. You're so... Please. Oh, please work. Please tell me it worked. Ah, okay, it worked. Oh my god.
It worked. I have no idea how, but it worked. I managed to get it so that when the ghast would go through the end, he would be instantly put into a minecart, which was perfect, because I was able to take a track that took him all the way down to an end city and to a chorus fruit field. But that wasn't enough, because the next thing I wanted to do was make him fight the ender dragon. Unsurprisingly, there's very little information on whether or not a ghast can even damage the dragon in the first place, meaning the only way to find out was to fight. So I respawned in the ender dragon, got rid of all the crystals, and handed it over to the ghast.
I think this is the only way for us to do damage to the dragon. So this might take a while, but we'll hopefully we'll get there soon. Oh, it did damage then. Nice. Looks as though we're about halfway. Maybe a bit above that actually. Yes, let's go! Ghast, we did it! Oh my god! Oh, let's go!
Now, I could have left Gary here. I called the ghast Gary, by the way. I don't want to spoil the video too much, but we did bring the ghast back home, safe and sound.
Which one was he?
For the most part.
No!
Although I realised at this point that I hadn't actually built anything throughout the past 2 months, so I dedicated the next few days to building up as much as I physically could, starting off by building more land, building up more mountains, carving out a tiny river, building an old growth pine taiga biome, which looked pretty cool, adding paths, lanterns, trees, grass, and a bunch of farmland. I then started work on the cliffs. You know, the things I said I would come back to? Well, I did. Just 6 months later, I tested out Lightmatica once again, making this whole building process 10 times faster. Well, until this happened. No! Cock. I also made some more decorations around the area just below the cliff, adding a mini bridge, a dock, and a ship. And the next day, I reached day 2000. Not too bad. It was around this time, I don't remember exactly when it was, but I was working on a video where I would finish off the cave. And I did. I got a ton of grey concrete and built up all of this. I also made a mini pool right at the bottom, which had this really weird glowing effect. Completely accidental, but it looked pretty cool. I did also make this. I don't really know where I was going with this, but I never made it into a video, so I guess we'll never know. But that didn't stop me, and I kept building, trying to get better and improve each time, building a painting, a dragon, which I'm really proud of. I'm so happy how this one turned out. And that leads us to our most recent video, where I built floating islands in Minecraft, inspired very heavily from the Hypixel bedworld map. I've only thought about this now though, but it's quite fitting how the last thing we built this year is the exact same things we built right at the start. They're both floating islands. And that's it. I've made a playlist of all the videos I've made in this world, so check them out if you want, and see ya.